Welcome to Exploring the Mystical Side of Life with your host, Michelle Aubin and Linda Lang.
Hi, this is Linda Lang from ThoughtChange.com, and I'm here on Exploring the Mystical Side of Life with my guest, Dr. Yvonne. Dr. Yvonne has her doctorate in clinical hypnosis. She trains people in hypnosis and NLP. She's also an author and speaker. I've got her lovely book here, Every Word Has Power, and today we're talking about the power of your words and how it actually creates your life.
Hi, Linda. Thank you for having me on.
Well, it's fantastic to have you here. I'm very excited. I've actually taken Dr. Yvonne's a master practitioner of NLP training. She's a fantastic trainer. And in our training, we had an exercise where if anybody said anything negative, we had a little bucket or a little jar that we had to put what did we put money in? I think we put
it was originally money, and then I actually made it into poker chips because when it was money, people were really not having a good time. So poker chips made it a game, and we get a little bag, and we put 20 poker chips in it, and every time you say a low energy word like bad or hard or difficult, someone says switch, and you have to switch it so it's like not easy or quite good, and then you would give the other person a coin. It's rather like if I always think of it as a success game. It's actually teaching your unconscious mind to know which words to change over, because when you have low energy words, you're using your low energy brain, your limbic brain, which has direct connection with your amygdala, which is a fight or flight, anger or fear mechanism, which you really don't want to be living in. What happens is when you use low energy words, and I use the phrase low energy words because I used to use the words positive and negative words, and then I looked at the word positive, and guess what came up? HIV positive, hepatitis C positive. I was like, oh, it has a different connotation these days than other times. So I started realizing that love has a different energy than passion, and hate has a different energy than bad. So I call them low energy and high energy words.
It was a fascinating exercise. I mean, there are just little words that kind of pop out of your mouth without even you thinking about it.
Exactly. You don't even realize what you're saying. People say, what did I just say? As someone switches them.
I actually love your story about how words can take on different meanings and even different from what you intend. I have this story of one of my good spiritual friends and teachers way back at the beginning who used to always say that she just wanted to support her husband. She meant emotionally support her husband.
Right.
But then she would complain because he was having a hard time meeting his portion of the finances. And I just looked at her one day and said, but you keep asking the universe, that saying you want to support your husband, and doesn't necessarily differentiate to the meaning that you're intending.
Yes, exactly. And that's the whole point, is that we say things unthinkingly. We say, oh, that's not bad. What we mean is it's quite good, actually. We don't mean it's not bad. We mean it's quite good. And that's a whole different search for your mind. Your unconscious mind is like, it's actually a servo mechanism, a machine. And it works exactly the same way as the internet. So if you say not bad, it's searching for bad things. It doesn't hear the negative, and it doesn't hear context or grammar. It only searches for keywords, just like the internet. So it will be off searching for more bad things instead of, you didn't mean not bad, you meant quite good. So if you say quite good, it's actually searching for good things. So it's like, don't think of a pink elephant. What do you have to think of? Right? So it's pretty obvious when you think about it, but in practice, people have to actually learn which words not to use.
And if people are sensitive to energy or how their body responds, even physiologically, you can tell the difference between not bad and good.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah, we have a little exercise, and it's in the book actually, where I read out just a normal conversation. Hello, how are you? Not bad, not bad. I was sick over Christmas, etc. By the time I finish reading a little paragraph, everybody can feel it in the body. It feels really not fun in your tummy. And then when you take out those low energy words and replace them with high energy words, like I wasn't well over Christmas, suddenly you feel lighter, the feeling in your tummy goes, and your immune system's boosted.
And I would suspect that people really need some assistance with this exercise because we habitually use the same words and same phrases.
I know. Yeah, because in North America we use the word no problem. You don't mean no problem, you mean you're welcome. So say you're welcome, right? It's like, and we say to kids as well, don't touch that. So the kid touches it, and you say, don't touch that, and you don't realize the child, the 5-year-old child, is exactly the same as the unconscious mind, just hears keywords.
So I guess what would be a good phrase instead of don't touch it? Maybe hands off?
Nope. Go ahead and keep your hands in your lap, my sweetheart. Or keep your hands by your side. Just hold on to this. Distraction, just hold on to this so that they don't reach out to the thing you don't want them to touch.
And being a hypnotherapist by trade,
yeah,
I would suspect it's really important when you're putting people into trance to use
it's
this.
Huge, Linda. And that was the whole point. I was seeing people leaning forward saying, so just don't think about all the worries and the stress it took to get here today and all the aches and pains in your body. And I'm like, what? And they were like, what? I'm saying it's okay, you can let those go. And it's like, no, you just directed their minds towards it. So the idea is, so go ahead and imagine a beautiful light above your head. Feel the light flowing over your shoulders, relaxing every part of your body, and find the most safe place in your body now and direct your attention to it and just let go. Huge difference.
Huge difference. And I know myself, I'm trained in hypnotherapy as well.
Yeah.
So many scripts and recordings saying,
I know.
Just let the tension go. And
yeah. Well, with cigarette smoking, it's the obvious one. From now on, you won't think of a cigarette anymore. You won't go into a convenience store and think of cigarettes. You'll just ignore those cigarettes. And because they're like, cigarettes. The idea is don't even mention the cigarette. Just let, you go in a convenience store and you forget what you went in for and you come out, you sit in the car feeling great and wondering what was it that you forgot. And it's like, it's really interesting. It's such a different way of approaching things.
Really, it is absolutely a fantastic book for any of our viewers.
It's in 11 languages now.
Oh, that's amazing.
I have Japanese, and I have Bulgarian.
I love it.
And Italian.
Wow, it's a worldwide phenomenon.
I know, it's so cool. It's all around the world.
I would also like to point out to the listeners that high energy and low energy, and also to be very careful when they're talking about their problems. I actually had this conversation.
Talking about their challenges.
Thank you. There's a poker chip in my bag.
Exactly.
Talking about their challenges, because in this particular conversation, they used the phrase, a pain in my neck.
Yes, exactly.
And I explained to her that she's actually directing her unconscious mind to put all that tension and whatever else.
Exactly.
So our body is very cooperative in holding all of this.
It is. And if you know you're Louise Hay, you can heal your life. You just look at the list and find out exactly what emotion correlates to what part of the body, and you find out exactly what you're holding on to. So I find that what people realize after they've been using high energy words for a while is that they suddenly start feeling more optimistic, because what happens is when you use a high energy word like love, happiness, joy, good, you're actually using your prefrontal cortex. And that has direct connection with your nucleus accumbens, which is your reward center, and that floods your body with endorphins when you use those high energy words. It's really amazing.
So how long do you think it would take when someone becomes aware of their conversation?
Oh, like we're talking 3 days, 4 days. When I do a training, At the first day, everybody goes, oh, I don't need these, I'm so positive. And then the second day, they're going, wow, I didn't know I actually use that many low energy words. And then the third day, they're like, I'll get back to you. And they're thinking it through. So about 3 days to become aware. And then what happens is you suddenly start replacing them automatically. At the first it starts to be like you have to think about it, and eventually you have to actually realize that once those words are out of your vocabulary, you don't have them in your mind anymore. I was teaching at the Harvard Medical School actually, and I've trained myself so well. I mean, we're talking like 10 years of this by then. And I said, so for instance, the word not good. I mean, the word, and I didn't even have the word in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, what is that word that means not good? And I had to say to someone, does anybody know what the word not good is? And someone said bad. I'm like, that one. And I had to actually paste it in front of me and read it because it wasn't in my head anymore. It was very interesting and good, because it means if we can release words like hate from our vocabulary, we also we remove the concept as well.
Very powerful indeed.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing is you can actually change literally physiologically as well as by using words. You know, when you're feeling down, most people, and I'm going to say that actually absolutely categorically, because it's been proven that we think in negative thinking 85% of the time, which is huge. Okay, it's only got this little smidgens of positive thinking. Everybody thinks they're very positive, and in actual fact, when they're actually thinking, it's not the truth. We typically hold our head down, and when your head is down physiologically, you're in the limbic brain, which has direct contact with the amygdala, as I said, the fight or flight, anger, fear, sadness. So you can easily feel sadness or frustration if your head is down. So go ahead and do that. And what you'll find is that it'll trigger somewhere in your physical body. You'll feel it in your torso somewhere usually. Mine's in my kind of just above my belly button when I think of frustration or anger or sadness. Now, if you put your chin up, you know the expression, keep your chin up? It literally means put your chin up an inch. You're actually using a different part of your brain now. You've actually gone into the prefrontal cortex. And of course, if you look ahead or look up and go into that learning state, the alpha, which is where you see something on the right and the left, take a deep breath, release it, and now go ahead and try and feel that anger, sadness, fear, guilt, anxiety, and you cannot get there. It's completely impossible.
Yeah.
And then of course, if you bring your vision back to normal, you're still in that nice state. Okay, so you can literally change it immediately.
I actually noticed that holding my head down actually changed how I breathed.
Exactly, it's true. You're not getting as much oxygen to the tissues, and it will literally start to bring up old memories. And the reason the old memories come up are because your unconscious mind's job is to search out the negative and clear it out so you can be safe. So, you know, we're actually programmed to think negatively. We're deep wired to do that. Notice I didn't say hardwired, we're deep wired, right? So as you're walking through the jungle, it's a nice day. If you see some leaves rustle, you better be looking at them, because it may be a bear or a tiger or a bear or a snake or something. And your immediate response is to freeze. It gives you 2 seconds to think whether to run or whether to fight back. And of course, the normal response is fear, run away. And then if the bear catches you, then you're going to get angry and you're going to fight back. So anger's top dog emotion. And what happens is that those emotions or those experiences are kind of filed away for the future, because the unconscious mind its job is to be on high alert, to keep you safe. So next time you get fear coming up, it's going to go, oh, I remember another time when, and immediately you start to get the memories of all the other times when that happened. That's why post-traumatic stress with the flashbacks happens, because it's like, are we safe yet? Can we talk? So any negative emotion is produced simply because your unconscious mind is saying, can we chat about this? Because I'm not sure whether I can delete this file or whether it's still valid. So if you think about negative emotions, they're not real. They feel real. They feel hugely real. They feel actually more strong than positive ones usually. And literally it's like a shadow. You can touch daylight. You can't touch a shadow because it's an absence of light. And negative emotions are simply an absence of safety, an absence of love, an absence of passion.
And the whole idea of using high vibration words also kind of goes into the creation or manifestation process.
Yes, because if you've got little clouds above your head, which are all the limiting beliefs and negative emotions that you've been walking around with, when you clear those away, you're in the light of God, you're in the light of sunshine, you have direct access to abundance, to manifestation. You send the thought up to God and it comes straight back without having to make its way through all the clouds or around the clouds.
And then, of course, there's the whole idea that our attention directs the unconscious mind. So if we're thinking of not bad, which the unconscious mind thinks of bad, it's going to direct us to more equal frequency or vibration.
Yeah. And of course, there are 40% of people who are thinking not bad. They're away from people. The ones trying not to get sick, not to get in debt, not to have an awful relationship. There are 40% of people who are towards people. So people who are working on their health and making sure they stay, they have money, making sure their relationship works. And then the 20% in the middle are sometimes either way. So ideally, you want to surround yourself with those people who are the 40% towards people who are actually positive and manifesting things, and stay away from the 40% who literally just live like Eeyore in their little dungeons. It's not fun to be around them.
And if you're one of those away from people, just switch it with your words, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And one of the most important things to realize is that when you're thinking negatively, you literally take yourself down that path. So when you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to get into debt, all you're doing is attracting debt to you. You know, when you think, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? Your unconscious mind's searching for more money. Right? And it's quite happy to delete the old files as long as you direct it properly.
So what do you think of the power of the imagination to kind of switch things in there?
It's amazing. So if you are like in sports therapy, if you are imagining winning the race, you have to visualize, you have to feel it, you have to turn the colors up, the sounds up, and feel that rope across your stomach. The second you start seeing someone else just pulling ahead of you, that's exactly what's going to happen. Your unconscious mind will manifest that, because imagination will always win over willpower. So it's really important to get your imagination clear and to date it too, Linda. I think a lot of people don't realize that you have to date things. You have to actually say, you know, I've got this $1 million check, September the 19th, 2018. Not just, oh, look at this $1 million check, because then the unconscious mind goes, oh, she got the $1 million check. Don't need to do anything, anybody. We're good.
That's a really good tip. I think a lot of people who set goals just project them in the future, and the future never comes.
No, because it's always it's like, I will do this. It never happens. It's like trying to do something. You know, as you know, we use the word try in hypnosis to make sure someone doesn't succeed. So, you know, very interesting. Yeah,
it's very good, very good. It's fascinating. And so really the bottom line here is that we have a lot more, I don't even want to use the word control, but let's say input. We have a lot
power. We have a lot more power over our minds than we realize, you know, because I mean, if you, who knows if fairies exist? And if you type fairies into the internet, you'll get millions of sites on fairies. And your unconscious mind is exactly the same way. It has no way of differentiating between what's real and not real. Everything's real to the unconscious mind.
Everything.
So if you have fears, it's actually thinking you're in a fearful place. So we have to work on clearing those fears, clearing the anger, clearing the sadness. And I invented the mind magic, which is in the book, Mind Magic, and it's on YouTube. So if you look up Yvonne Oswald Mind Magic YouTube, it's actually there, and you can actually learn how to clear those negative emotions using an anchor, using the alpha state, and taking a breath and just releasing it. And it works way better than the tapping. EFT, I'm not keen on, because it actually doesn't go to root cause. It just keeps bringing stuff up.
Yeah. And the mind magic actually works really, really well.
It does, especially for like emotions that come up during the day. You know, when you're at work or you're resenting someone or the kids are getting to you, if you just go into the other room and do mind magic, it literally, you'll feel great in 2 minutes.
It's so quick.
Yeah, it is fast. It's really amazing. I was nominated for a Visionary Award for it with Marianne Williamson and Lynn McTaggart.
Oh.
So, Lynn McTaggart won and Marianne Williamson and I came second. So that was fine.
Well, you are in very good company.
I am.
Yes.
I know.
Wonderful, wonderful. Dr. Yvonne, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today.
You're very welcome, Linda. It was great being with you.
Would you like to share your contact information for the listeners?
Yes, I do 3.5 hour, 4 hour breakthrough sessions, and I'm happy to do them on Skype. I can clear anything you like, whether it's depression, whether it's anger, sadness, fear, guilt, anxiety, old memories, abuse, post-traumatic stress, etc. I'm actually going to be going into the US and working with the North American Aboriginals to clear their residential school issues.
Oh, beautiful.
And my website is globalwelcome.com, GLOBAL welcome.com, and my email is Yvonne, YVONNE, @globalwelcome.com. Yeah, and you can call me on my cell phone. I'm available anytime. I make sure that I'm completely available to people, students and the other people.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for your generous spirit and your beautiful gift to the world in the work that you do.
Thank you. I love it. It's amazing. And if anybody wants to go to the website, you will get a free Sunshine Thinking CD, which is 20 minutes long. It's one of my best CDs. I give away my best, and you can listen to that every night and feel positive.
Fantastic. Everyone, please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you enjoyed today's podcast, and make sure you check out some of our other episodes. That's it for this week. We'll see you again next week. Bye for now.
Thanks, Linda. Bye.